What's up guys, this is Nicole Glass and welcome back to the channel. Many of you guys who watch this channel know that I do stock photography. And for those of you who are new here, basically I sell a lot of my photos on places like Shutterstock.com, Adobe Stock, Pond 5, and other similar platforms. Now with stock photography, you might get less than $1 per download, or you could get lucky and get, some high value sales. But one thing's for sure, it is a numbers game, and generally speaking, the more sales you can get, the better, the more it adds up. So most of the time, you can't really see who's downloading your photo or what that photo is being used for. At least not on the platforms that I use. But if you're like me, you try to do a little research, you try to figure out where your photos end up, and sometimes you might be surprised. There's two methods that I primarily search for my photos. One is I will use a reverse Google image search, and two, I will just search the internet by my name and see if there's any new uploads of my photos on like news platforms and things like that. However, people that buy stock photos might also be using your photos for other purposes that, are not necessarily online. And sometimes it could be quite interesting where those photos end up. So the other day, a friend of mine sent me a picture on Facebook, and it was a picture of a poster, outside of a grocery store, and the person on the poster was me. And he was like, "Is that you? How did you end up on a grocery store poster?" And I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. That's a pretty big photo of myself hanging outside all the grocery stores. I was a little surprised, but you know what? That's what happens when you put photos of yourself on stock photography platforms. I mean, that's what can happen. You might end up on some little small news site that nobody's ever heard of, or, sometimes you might end up hanging on a poster somewhere, like in this case. But honestly, I would have probably never discovered that if he hadn't sent it to me, because it's not usually a grocery store that I shop at. But it was pretty funny. So today I decided, since my fridge is kind of empty and I need some groceries anyway, I'm just gonna go to this grocery store because I kind of want to see my stock photo hanging outside of it. And, I want to also see if it's like all the grocery stores that have this photo, or if it was just that one location that he went to in the Baltimore area, I think. So let's see. Oh, and I'm not going to take my camera with me. I'm just going to use my phone because, I don't know, I feel a little weird about this. It's a little awkward, but yeah, so I'll just be undercover with my phone. Masks are mandated in the state of Maryland now, so got a mask, ready to get some food and see my poster. And there I am. So the secret to ending up on a poster in a store? Upload photos of yourself to stock photography. So this is how you end up being a grocery store model. Who knew? Not gonna lie, I felt a little weird going into that store and taking selfies of myself with that poster. The person who was working there was looking at me like, what is this girl doing? And I saw she was like staring at me, so I was like, that's me. And she's like, no, really? So she started like looking and trying to see, is that really me? And then she goes, I believe you. You have the same eyes. I'm like, yeah, because it's me. So as we are all at home, and we're in many cases not able to do photo shoots of other people, don't discredit yourself. You can always take photos of yourself if you want to be a stock model. I don't particularly want to be a stock model. It's just, you work with what you've got, and sometimes you've only got yourself. Anyways, there's another one of these grocery stores like 5 minutes away, so I'm just gonna drive by that one and see if the poster's also there, and then I can pretty much determine that it's probably on all the store windows. Here's another location. Let's see if they have my poster too. And here I am. So a little bit of history about that picture. That picture was part of a series of pictures I did before the pandemic reached this area. It was already in other areas in the US. And I was just kind of like documenting things, documenting what's going on in the world. And that meant, you know, being my own model sometimes. See, this is why it's better to film with the car door closed, because noise. So that picture actually ranks pretty high in search results in different, you know, categories. Like I won't say the words because that's just gonna get my video flagged. So one thing you might be wondering is how much money did I actually make off this photo sale? And the answer is, I don't know. See, this photo gets downloaded every single day, usually a couple times a day during these times. And I'm not sure which download was the store. But it's probably anywhere between a few cents to a few dollars. That's all I can say. So there's actually a few other cases where my photos have ended up in very interesting places, to say the least. One of you guys actually sent me a photo of this exact same photo on a news program in Europe, which was pretty interesting. And I just overall think it's really cool to see what people are using your stock photos for. Sometimes you, like I said, might be surprised. So let me know in the comments, where have you found your stock photos being used? Maybe you found your photos on a billboard, in a newspaper, on a product somewhere. So let me know what your experiences are. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you are new here. And I definitely recommend watching these two videos around my head somewhere. If you haven't watched them already, they are actually pretty relevant to the times. And yeah, stay safe.